For my revolutionary Pan-African nationalist, stop wasting your time debating history and identity. Stop debating it. Someone who does not want to accept the truth doesn't have to accept the truth. A liberation struggle must have an identity policy, and it must have a historical policy. But more important than that, a liberation struggle must have a program for liberation. Economic liberation, political liberation, social liberation, intellectual liberation, spiritual liberation. As revolutionary Pan-Africanists, our focus is on the solutions to the problems that plague our people. Spending thousands of hours a year trying to convince somebody who they are and where they come from is a waste of your time. Spending thousands of hours a year trying to debate and force somebody to accept your particular perspective of our history is a waste of time, because no matter who wins the debate, no matter who wins the conversation, at the end of the day, our people still don't have their own schools. At the end of the day, our people still don't have their own banks. At the end of the day, our people still don't have their own manufacturing center. At the end of the day, our people still don't have their own distribution. At the end of the day, our people still don't have their own hospitals. Stop the intellectual masturbation. An intellectual masturbator is a political hypocrite. I said an intellectual masturbator is a political hypocrite. Stop wasting your time trying to prove to people how much you know. Stop trying to waste your time trying to prove to people how smart you are. The greatest revolutionaries in history were not the smartest. They were the most committed. The people who have brought the most change in the world were not necessarily the smartest. They were the hardest working. You understand me? An African with average intelligence who struggles on behalf of the people is infinitely more valuable than an African with 10 PhDs or an African who wrote 100 books. This is why the scholar has rarely been the activist. The scholar has rarely been the activist. Look at our history. Rarely have the scholars played a leading role in liberation movements. You know why? Because scholars are too busy intellectually masturbating the reality instead of trying to change it. The difference between the scholar and the activist is the activist lives and breathes change. The activist lives and breathes revolution. The activist lives and breathes for a new day for his people. The intellectual masturbator does not live for freedom. The intellectual masturbator does not live for change. The intellectual masturbator does not live for revolution. The intellectual masturbator lives for people to view them as intelligent. They live for people to read their books. They live for people to see them as intelligent and articulate and as being masters of information. We don't need masters of information. We need masters of change. We have all the books we need for freedom. We have all the books we need for liberation. We have all the books we need to build schools, all the books we need to build hospitals and banks and supermarkets and our own Black Wall Streets. We are not at a loss for information. We are not at a loss for scholarship. We are at a loss for true revolutionary spirited African brothers and sisters. Most of us don't want to do nothing but sit home on YouTube all day and watch videos and goofy shit. We just want to sit home on TikTok and Twitter and Instagram all day and watch videos and goofy shit. That is not going to change your reality. If you want to change your reality, you have to get your lazy ass off YouTube, get your lazy ass off Instagram, get your lazy ass off the internet, and you have to come out onto the streets and you have to organize and fight. When a colony of ants notices that a human group is about to entrench upon their territory, they don't stop to read no books. They don't stop to do no research. They don't stop to debate their identity or history. Those ants automatically mobilize to prevent their destruction. When a colony of birds learns that the forest is about to be cut down, they don't stop to read a book. They don't stop to do no research. They don't stop to debate their history or identity. They automatically begin to engineer a plan of liberation. Study the animal kingdom. Study the animal kingdom. The animal kingdom, they don't survive by reading books and watching YouTube videos. They survive by applying their God-given intelligence to the immediate situation that presents them. And we have to do the same thing. I'm not against scholarship. I'm the #1 black scholar on the planet. I'm not against scholarship. I'm the #1 black scholar on the planet. I'm not against scholarship. I'm the #1 black scholar on the planet. But I am against a scholarship that is divorced from a practical application of revolutionary energy. I am against any scholarship that is divorced from practical application of revolutionary energy. Stop wasting all your time trying to reclaim the past. I don't care how much you focus on Egypt. Ancient Egypt is not coming back. I don't care how much you focus on the great kingdoms of Aksum and Lalibela, the great kingdoms of Ghana and all the great kingdoms of Central Africa and South Africa, Manu Mutapa. They're not coming back. We don't need a pyramid. We need an independent black community. We don't need to build another pyramid. We need an independent black community. The great pharaohs of antiquity, they did their job. They built their civilization. When are you going to build your civilization? The great kings and queens of Kemet, the great rulers of Central and Southern Africa, of Upper Africa, Western Africa, they built their civilizations. You have to build yours. When are we going to put boots on the ground and get the work done? The past belongs to the ancestors. The future belongs to God. The present belongs to us. What are we doing with our present?